Hello there. Today I just wanted to share a quick peek at what I'm doing for Junk Journal January. If you have not heard about it before, I follow Meg Journals on Instagram, and she basically has this challenge in the month of January to sort of create a new junk journal and follow like the prompts. And this time around, the prompts are very action based, which I really like, rather than like journaling prompt based. So what I thought was to pull out an old junk journal that I had completed from 2019 when I participated in like January or Junk Journal January, and it's sort of empty because I liked the papers that I used in creating this little sort of traveler's notebook sized junk journal. And there is some journaling and pictures and things, but it's not very filled up. And as I was flipping back through it, I realized it would be nice to sort of make another pass at this, right? Sometimes we don't really finish journal pages like page by page. You can sort of go back in with layers and keep working on it, especially if it's a junk journal, because it's just a huge mixed media sort of type of journal with lots of elements and ephemera and things, and you can just sort of keep adding on to them as much as you would like. And I thought it would be nice to just have this particular junk journal sort of returning to it every so often. Whenever the prompts seem like something that I'm interested in, I can sort of come back in and sort of go through it again, sort of on top of the previous ones. So it's already a little bit filled with like the last time around prompts, but I'm going to add in this new junk journal July prompt in front. And I've got some printables that I think I want to use together. These are from Journaling Home on Instagram. You could buy them digitally and print them out. I just thought that they matched really nicely. So I'm using some of those in this, and I've just collected some other sort of vintage printables that I have in my stash, some other vintage collages that I've printed out on vellum from my own vintage design collection from June on my Ko-Fi page, and just some cutouts from magazines and like old book papers and things like that. And I have more supplies, but these I had on my desk already, so I just wanted to group them all together. And what I'm doing now is basically figuring out how I'm going to add this like prompt list. So the one that's already inside the junk journal is from 2019, like a while ago, from the junk journal January prompts. And I printed out the latest one that is for July 2022. And you can find it on Instagram if you follow Meg Journals. And I printed that out because I always like to have the prompts like at the beginning of the journal. I think it's just nice to have that like reference there. So I think I'm just gonna add it onto the front page like this, and like even though things sort of overlap, and will I glue it or not? I'm not really sure, but I think it's okay, like if it's just all stuck together. It's not a big deal. It just sort of adds to the whole junk journaling aspect of things. And like I said, my idea is that over time I will just keep adding like more junk journal prompts and keep going through these pages again, like passing through them over and over again and adding to it. Until which time this journal gets like really, really filled up and I feel like I can't add anything more to it. And I'm starting to think more like the junk journaling is something that I enjoy doing, not necessarily for the writing journaling aspect, more for the ephemera process, like playing around collaging aspect. When it comes to like writing journal, I definitely do morning pages, and I have a separate journal for that. And I also have a daily journal, like memory keeping, and there are many other places where I can actually sort of write out like full pages, and I prefer using like A5 sized paper when it comes to like writing with my fountain pen, like that kind of thing. So for junk journals, I really think of it as very process based and just sort of for fun, creativity. and collage time, and using supplies and tapes and all kind of that type of thing. And normally my style is very like cutesy and graphic. I mean, I like a lot of things, but I do have a lot of like cute supplies, what you would probably categorize as like kawaii type of stuff. But I do have a soft spot for all vintage materials. I just think that they make great like neutrals. So you technically can use vintage materials with anything else because it's just like an earth color neutral, and you can sort of combine and make it your own. So I sometimes feel like it's interesting that I have a lot of sort of vintagey supplies and then I have like the complete opposite, bright colors, pink, kawaii kind of stuff as well. So in this particular journal, I'm definitely going for the more, vintagey kind of look. So I stuck on this Junk Journal July prompt list on this front page. I also used my little old-fashioned label maker to add 2022, so the year is there, and some of the paper was popping up, so I just added some washi tape to hold it all together because of all the pieces. And I think I don't really want like these pages to be loose or possibly falling out, so I think I'm going to like paste that in or glue that in. And I'm sort of realizing just now that I guess I am covering up parts or covering up papers that I might like, and I think it's actually totally okay to like even deconstruct some of your junk journal pages or journal pages, anything in general, and sort of rework them if at a later date you just feel like you want to keep sort of playing with it. And I know sometimes people are like, no, keep things the way they were and just create a new journal. But I like to think that like this junk journal can sort of be like a living, breathing thing that just changes over time. So it's totally okay to keep adding on later layers and reconstructing, deconstructing and reconstructing as you see fit. And anyways, that is the approach that I'm taking this time around. So that's just a little quick look at my Junk Journal January. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'm tortagialla. You can probably see updates throughout July because I'll be posting there until I finish the whole month, and then maybe do like a flip through. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you love digital printables, be sure to check out my website, tortagialla.com, for loads of free printables to use in your journaling. Thanks so much!